Hey guys, so for our second tutorial for this month, we are going to do a popcorn tumbler. So pick your favorite red or white glitter. So if you want to start with a red base or if you want to start with a white base, it's either or, it doesn't matter. So I'm actually going to use red, so I'm going to pick my favorite red glitter and we're going to get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is spray paint my tumbler. If you're using white, you leave your tumbler white. If your tumbler is white, if not, spray paint it white. But I am going to do a red base. And it doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to cover it with glitter. So there. And then now we're going to let it dry. Okay, so now that we got it painted and dried, I'm going to use Adhesive Apothecary Stick Glitter Glue. This is amazing, way better than Mod Podge. You have a longer work time than Mod Podge as well. And I'm going to use Scarlet from Be Glittery to coat my glitter. To coat my cup. Don't forget to take your tumbler and you see all those chunky flakes that are sticking out. Take some parchment paper and lay it flat. You don't have to use chunky either, so there's also that alternative. You could use a fine glitter, but I just prefer chunky. I like chunky better on tumblers. Make sure to do the bottom. And then that's it. So spray this, seal this in with clear spray paint and let it dry. Do about 3 or 4 coats so that it's nice and stuck on there, and then still go ahead and, even while it's wet, put a glove on and lay your glitter flat where you couldn't reach if you're using a handled tumbler. If not, you should be able to make it all lay flat. So this is what you should have now. So now, like I said, spray it with your clear spray paint and 3 or 4 coats, let it dry, and then go ahead and epoxy, and we will be back tomorrow to finish. up, or do step 2 at least. Okay, so now that your tumbler is epoxied and sanded, so this is already sanded, ready to go for step 2, we are going to make our lines. So what you're going to do is go to shapes right here on Cricut, click the square, and then just drag it across. And after you do that, make it as thick or as thin as you want it. So this is about, this says 0.806. That's the height of the thickness that I'm using. And then just double it up, maybe make about 6. And then I take one extra, and then I'm gonna make it as thin as I want it, because I'm gonna put some in between. Maybe I want it a little thinner. Hold on. So when we line them up on the cup, they're gonna look like that. So this is what I mean. You don't have to do this. You don't have to put the thin ones if you don't want to, but I think they look cuter. Or you can also do it, you don't have to make the thin ones like that. You can use these little strips. Remember I told you about these little strips? So you could use these as well. Maybe I'll just use these. So I'll delete those because I'll just use that. Okay, so, and then get ready to cut them on your Cricut mat. So since if you did a red base, you're gonna do white stripes. If you did a white base, you're gonna do red stripes. And then I cut mines always on holographic sparkle vinyl, only because I just want to make sure that it cuts all the way through. And I always put more pressure. Okay, so now you just take your vinyl that you just cut and decorate, space them out to your liking. So I'm gonna put one here. And I'll do the cutting at the end. And it also helps if you add your striping right after, so you can kind of get your spacing correct. So there's that, just fold it under. After you got it all on there, I suggest you guys invest in a cutter. I can't think of what's the exact name of it, but if you check my Amazon storefront, these are on there. These give you a nice even cut. So just go ahead and spin it around, and it'll cut your bottom vinyl even for you. Oops. So there, and you just peel it off. And if you want to even out the top as well, you could do that as well. And it's okay that we have that little line because the epoxy will fill in the little indent that this made. So there you have it. So now you can put this on the spinner and let it epoxy one more time. I actually went back through and added stripes through the white as well. I think I'm more satisfied with this. Okay, now epoxy it. So I'm gonna show you how to make popcorn pieces with clay. If you don't wanna make them on your own, you can purchase them on Amazon. They do already have faux popcorn on Amazon, but it's a little expensive and they only give you a little bit of pieces. So this is oven baked clay. So this is my little pieces of popcorn I started with. So the first thing you want to do is take a small piece, roll it up. You can do them this way. Take some scissors and then do it like this. Sorry. And then split it in fours. Separate them and kind of like ball it up. And then take another piece, kind of like attach it to the back. Put your finger in the middle. So that way, if you make your own, you get more pieces. It is a little bit of work, but I prefer. And there you have a piece of popcorn. There you have a little piece of popcorn. And then you can paint the insides when you're ready. So I'm gonna do this on a time lapse because it's gonna take a while. And before I do this on time lapse, I just want to mention that popcorn is not perfect. So they do not have to be perfect. You do not have to do them all the same. So see, this one is a little wonky. It doesn't have a bottom to it. And once you paint them at the end, they will look just like popcorn. So do not worry if they are not coming out like perfect. Do not try to make them perfect. Okay, so now I'm gonna do this on a time lapse. So once you have your popcorn pieces, you're gonna put these in the oven per your instructions on whichever oven bake you use, and then we'll come back and paint them, or you guys can leave them white if you guys want, but put them in the oven and then we'll be back. So once you get them out of the oven, I'm looking for the best way to color them without painting them because we want them to look realistic. So put some in a bag and get some mica powder. And I'm actually gonna try this, so maybe you should wait. So I'm gonna pour some mica powder in the bag and I'm gonna shake it up. See if we can get some yellow colored, buttery looking popcorn. And I think we did. So I think that looks legit. You don't want to color all of them yellow, just a few. And then we'll take like a little bit of brown paint to make the little kernels on the inside. So there, now we have white popcorn pieces and yellow popcorn pieces. I think I might put a little tint on these white pieces. We'll see. So I'm gonna go get some brown paint and be right back. So I'm gonna use these brushes. I'm gonna try these brushes. You don't want a perfect brush, I know that. You want it to be a little messed up. And then I'm gonna use caramel, classic caramel. So let's see what we got here. Uh-oh, so there. And I'm kind of just dabbing it any which way on the popcorn so that it gives it that kernel look. Like I said, you guys can order the ones from Amazon, but it is very expensive. It's like $15 for like 30 pieces of popcorn when you could just spend $15 on clay and make multiple things with the clay. So I just recommend doing it this way. It's cheaper. And you get the satisfaction of making your own. Uh-oh. If you don't like it, I don't like that one. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna brush it around. Okay, so for this step, you're gonna need your top for your tumbler and UV resin. So you want to open up your lid already, so make sure it's not closed, leave it open. If you don't have the removable top, this is what I do. So this is gonna be permanent. So I kind of just take my finger, because I don't have a squeegee. I bought the big one, so you should have, if you have the smaller one with the tool or with the needle nose tip that you can pour out, that's great. So what I'm gonna do is just grab some and kind of just slather my base. This is for the first layer to stick on. So take some of your popcorn pieces and put them how you'd like. And definitely use more popcorn if you want to build it like up top. So I'm most likely going to do that as well. This one in the front. So now I'm just gonna pour just a little bit just to hold it in place and quickly put it under the light so that it doesn't go into the drinking hole. Okay, so once you take it out of the light, it should be nice and stuck on there. So now you can kind of just continue to add the rest of your pieces, however tall you want it or short you want it. So I'm kind of just gonna leave mine like this. I suggest making your popcorn pieces smaller if you want to go higher than this. And again, we do this same thing of pouring I'm gonna put that one there. And I don't recommend doing hot glue with this because hot glue leaves those little strings and those are very hard to get off. So that's why I just say use the UV resin. in. So once you have it all sealed in, now you can go ahead and seal all of it, especially the pieces with the mica powder on it. Those need to be sealed in. So just take your UV resin and just brush up on all of it. I suggest doing this at least a minimum of like 2 times and still sealing it with regular epoxy after. Guys, so once you get it off the turner and your popcorn's all done, so this is what you should have now. Now all you need to do is literally just add your decal. So I already have a decal that I use that I purchased years ago from Etsy. So I'm literally just gonna search for it and then I'll be back to apply the decal. This is the decal that I'll be using, so just size it to whatever size you guys like, to whatever size tumbler you're using. Let me open it up here. I think I kind of want it a little bit small. And then I like to offset mine always, even though it already has a minor offset on it. And then I'll just make that white, so it kind of just all blends. And then flatten it and then print and cut. And I think I'm gonna do this on water slide paper. Actually, this is the paper that I'll be using to print the popcorn image. So it's vinyl sticker paper from A-Sub, and it's glossy white paper. Okay, so here's something else we're gonna do. Get your part A and part B epoxy or your fast set or whatever you use for drips and let it heat up and get nice and thick. So what we're gonna do is put some butter drips on here and on the tumbler as well. So what you need to do is take off this band right here and then tape it off. So I'm actually holding the camera right now with my hand. So you wanna take this rubber part off and then put some painter's tape around it. So here you should have it like this. Take this off, put it to the side, get your painter's tape. And then take this off here. You can stick like a piece of cotton or something. Well, not cotton, I wouldn't use cotton. Maybe a piece of tape. You don't have to do this either. This is just if you're a little wild with your resin, so you don't plug up the hole. So you just want to drizzle it, but we'll come back to that once the epoxy is ready. So now we're just gonna apply our decal. I'm gonna put mine this way. I am left-handed, so I do everything this way, pretty much. And so there we have your popcorn logo, and then now we just wait for the drip. You also do not have to continue to the next step. If you like your tumbler like this, then you are completely finished. But if you want to add drip, so stay tuned to add the drip. So now we got it nice and thick. Add your cornstarch to it. Let it